everyone. I hope you're ready for some maths tonight. Guys, just remember if hi guys, welcome. Hello. I'm very excited for our lesson today. We're going to be doing such cool stuff.
Hi everyone. So nice that we're back here. Sure.
Nice big class tonight. There are 2 questions up on the board that I'd like you to give a try. It's just the factorization that we did on Thursday. And once you are happy with your answers, you can let me know and you can give them a try. Or you can put your answers in the comments, I don't mind. So many familiar names. If you're feeling brave with one of them, let me know which one that you would like to do. And just a reminder, if your names are not your names on the list, if you could let us know in the comments, first of all, so I call you the correct name, and secondly, so we have your name on register. Big hello to everyone on this beautiful Tuesday evening. So first one, don't fall for my trap. Remember to do something. That's my hint. Don't fall for the trap that I have set for you. You're better than the trap. Yeah, I'm going to give you 2 more minutes because they're not so bad. Oh yeah, oh, we have a new person. Welcome to our favorite class. Everyone will be really nice to you. This is the best class that we have at Watobe. So you've landed in luck. Welcome. Welcome to our little home. Oh, and guys, I have a good puzzle for you this evening. I'm very excited. I'll give it to you at 1:30.
Ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
Can I do number 2?
Yes, absolutely. You don't want to do number 1?
I want to do number 1, not number 2.
You want to do number 1? Okay, I'm gonna flip my screen, so I'm gonna disappear from you all, but I will see you again at the end of the lesson. Okay, Canva, it is all yours. Tell me what to do for question 1.
You write 2.
Good, so I'm taking out my highest common factor. Good, open bracket.
X to the power of 2 minus 8x.
Good.
12.
Beautiful. Next step.
Then it's 2, open bracket, x minus 6, close bracket, open bracket, x minus 2.
Beautiful.
This is beautiful.
Oh, Zero Xolo is also new. Welcome. Welcome to our class. We're a very lovely class. Everyone's very welcoming. So welcome to our new people. We are very excited to have you here. Canva, that was so beautifully done. Excellent, excellent. Let's just chat about some of the things that Kamba did there in his brilliance. The first thing that he did was he took out the highest common factor, which was a number that goes into everything. So we know 2 goes into everything. And then over here, he did a trinomial, and so he worked with the factor pairs of 12. So 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. He saw we needed to use 2 and 6. This was a plus sign, which means our signs both had to be the same. And we have -6 and -2. Oh, guys, we have so many new people here today. Welcome to everyone who is new. We are very happy to have you. Owami, I saw that you unmuted yourself. Does that mean you're doing question 2 for me?
No, ma'am. No.
I'm pretty sure you can, though.
Try it, Owami.
I didn't,
Go for it.
I didn't even do it.
It's fine. Try it now.
Who feels confident with number 2 and is able to take Owami out of the hot seat? Who
How
is
about
prepared to
Apiwe?
save her? Apiwe.
The new one.
No? Is no one feeling brave with question 2? I thought people would like question 2 more than question 1.
Can I do it, ma'am?
Oh, wait, hold on. Emma's got an answer for us in the chat. Okay, Emma, I really, really like that as a first step. Okay, so what Emma's done is 3 and then open bracket x squared minus 4. So what Emma did was she took out the highest common factor, which I love. But there's another step. Canva, yes. Okay, Canva is on fire. Emma is also on fire. Beautiful. So we have 3x plus 2, x minus 2, and it's because I can do difference of 2 squares with the x squared minus 4. Beautiful. Okay, so I made these questions nice and short because the work that we have to do today is we need to learn it. And some of you may not have done it in class. So I want to go through it nice and slowly. Can you let me know in the chat if you have done trinomials that look like this one that you can see at the bottom? So a trinomial like that, where you have got a number in front of the x squared. Let me know. Have you done this? Yes or no?
Okay, there's some hands. Kitumisa says yes.
I'm hoping that the hands are meaning yes. So we started this week. Okay, Kamba, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Some yeses, some nos.
Yes, ma'am. We started.
Okay, those of you who have started, how are you feeling with it? Are you hating it? Are you loving it? Are you... Just tell me your stories. Mommy, every time you say that, you say you don't like something and then you can do it perfectly. So I'm not even listening. I'm not engaging.
The signs are confusing, ma'am.
Okay.
The signs, ma'am.
That's fair. Okay, I'll give you that. The signs are confusing. That's fair. Oh, we've got people who love it. Mr. Shongwe, can you help Luke out with his sound? He seems to be having issues. Okay, confusing. Yes, no, started this week. Okay, so because some of you haven't done it and some of you have, I'm going to teach it 2 different ways. And then you can tell me, well, you must do it the way that first of all your teacher has taught you in school. And if you haven't learned it in school yet and you're only learning it now with me for the first time, you can choose which way you would like to do it. Okay. I hope that everyone's okay with that. So let's try and go through this step by step. I'm going to talk through this one super slowly. I'm going to show you 2 different ways, and then I'm going to let you try. Okay. Vuzwa, do you have a question, or were you just letting me know that you've done trinomials? No. Okay. Cool. Okay. So the first way we are going to learn this is called the crisscross method. So who has done the method like this at school where you draw a crisscross? If you have, can you let me know? Can you say yes? Or put your hand up or something? Okay, so we have some me's coming in here. Cool. All right, so the first way that I'm going to teach you is the crisscross, because I personally find the crisscross easier. And then if you, and then I'll show you the second way to do them, because some people really struggle with the crisscross. And I'm just going to go through this super slowly. So if you've done this in class and you're finding these easy, I'm sorry in advance, but we need to make sure that everyone understands what we are doing. So the first thing that we do is this part over here of the crisscross. We care about that first term. So I need to try and find a way to break up that first term, where if I multiply them together, I would get 2x squared. Now, luckily, 2 is a prime number. So if I was to draw a factor tree of 2, my only options are 2 and 1. Okay, so I could only have a 2x and a 1x. That's the only way I can break it up. There isn't another way for me to break it up. Now, to make sure I haven't made any mistake in that, if I multiply those two together, so 2x times 1x, I should get 2x squared, which gives me my first term. That's our first step. Okay, that's the easy step. Now we get into where the fun starts. Next part, we need to figure out what is going to go over here, and we determine those numbers with our constant. Okay, now again, we were lucky. 3 is a prime number. Oh, highlighter. 3 is a prime number. So the only thing I can split 3 up with is 3 and 1. Okay, but now I need to try and figure out where they're going to go. The reason we call this the crisscross method is because we multiply like that. So we multiply in a crisscross way. So for example, if I'm wanting to break up 3, and I put my 3 over here, and I put my 1 over there, so that's my 3 and my 1, and I say 2x times 3, because I'm using this multiplication over here. I'm just going to draw it in as we talk about it. So I'm saying 2x times 3, that would give me 6x. And if I talk about this multiplication over there, that would give me 1x times 1, which is 1x. And I'm trying to get 7x. And so 1x plus 6x would give me 7x. So that means that those both need to be positives. And this is now, once we figured that out, this is my one bracket, and that is my second bracket. And so my answer here is 2x plus 1, x plus 3. So that's the first way. So the crisscross method is we work with our first coefficient to get this green part, and then we work with our constant to get the blue. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the crisscross? This is your time. Sebo, question?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever it is a single number without any x or anything, is it always supposed to be times by 2? Even while I still notice that 1 will always equal x.
Where are you saying that we're multiplying it by 2, sweetheart?
Sorry, man, I was lagging. I didn't hear properly.
No, it's okay. I'm just trying to figure out where you're saying we're multiplying by the 2.
The 3, ma'am, since it's suddenly added up to 6.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so we're multiplying that by 2 because we're taking this number that we figured out here. So this 2x, because 2x times 1x gave us our first term, which was 2x squared. And that 2x over there multiplied by this 3, that's what gave us our 6x. But this bottom one, it was just a single x multiplied by a single 1, and that's why it's just 1x. But don't worry, we will do a second one like this. So don't panic. I'm not going to throw you in the deep end. we're just learning at the moment. So for some people, this is the first time they're seeing it. So don't panic, guys.
I think we have Kitumete as well and Shifiwa.
All right, ask away. I'm here.
Ma'am, the signs, ma'am. You see the signs, ma'am. You see the bracket
Yes.
name, ma'am. If the 3 at the back was a negative,
Yeah.
was the 3 in the bracket in your answer going to be a negative as well?
Yeah. So if this was a negative, let's say that was a
Yeah.
-3, then this over here would give me -6x. And so that would have to be a positive 5x. I mean, sorry, -5x, because that would be -6x plus 1.
So we automatically change the sign to get to the middle term.
Exactly. Exactly.
We change the sign just like that. There's no
we
rule
we
that's
use
gonna...
we use the signs to get to the number that we're looking for. But remember, the same things apply here. If this is a plus sign, then these two signs have to be the same, and they have to be the same as that sign. So we can also use those things to help us.
Okay, ma'am.
But we'll do more of these. Don't panic.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Next question.
Shifiwa?
Hi,
Ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask if the one in green, let's say it was a 5 and the prime, it was a prime number since it would be 5 and 1.
Yeah.
What if it wasn't? Like,
If it wasn't a prime number.
yes, ma'am, and you could find more factors.
Yeah, then we have to go through our different options. So we have to be like, let's say it was a 6, then we would have to go through 1 and 6 and 2 and 3 and see which one of those pairs works. So sometimes it is a bit of trial and error.
Ma'am, how would you find out if they work?
So you would try and put them in different places. So for example, in this question, I knew where my 3 and my 1 needed to go, but let's say I put my 3 there and I put my 1 there. Then I would have 1x times 3, which gives me 3x, and 2x times 1, which gives me 2x. And I would see that 3x times 2x doesn't give me 7. And so I'd be like, okay, that's wrong. And then I have to try something else. So it's like you put numbers somewhere to see if it works. And if it doesn't work, then you change where the numbers are around.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Is that all the questions just of this first example? Don't panic. We will do lots more in this lesson. And I'm going to show you the second method now. Okay. Okay, second method. So some people prefer this one. I know some of my students prefer this method. But it's completely up to you. This one you have to remember to do a few more things, but it's less trial and error. So I'm just going to rewrite this question. We've got 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. Okay. In this method, the first thing we do is we take this number and we multiply it by that number. So we say 2 times 3, which gives me 6. Okay, that's our first step. Second step, we work with the factors of 6. So we do our factor tree of 6. So 1 and 6, 2 and 3. From that factor tree, we say, well, which one of those factor pairs would give me 7? Which one of those factor pairs would give me 7? It would be 1 and 6. Okay, so we write that out. So we say 2x squared. Now we're going to write out the 7x with this new factor pair that we have. So plus 1x plus 6x. And then we have our plus 3. Has anyone ever done this method before? Or is this seeming like magic in front of your eyes? Has anyone ever seen this? I'm worried I'm scaring people. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. Once we've gotten to this point, so that 7x is broken up into the 1x and the 6x. Okay. Once we've split it up, we group our first 2 terms and we group our second 2 terms. So our third step is we group. We take out the highest common factor of those 2 terms. So in my first 2 terms, the highest common factor is x. So I would be left with 2x plus 1. And in the second one, guys, I'm just going to mute you if just for the moment, just while we're explaining. Second one, the highest common factor would be 3. So I'd be left with 2x plus 1. Now we're at the point where we have a highest common bracket, like we had in our lessons last week, and we take out that bracket, and we write what we are left with. And you will see you get exactly the same answer as the first one. Okay, I'm ready for questions.
Hey, Jennifer.
Yes, hello.
It's Mr. Shoma here. Yeah, let me share a little cheat for the second method that you showed them.
Sure.
Okay, so you already have your AC. So this is your first value, 2 times 3, which gives you 6. You do that. You already found your factors, which are your, what's this? It's 1 and 6, which give you 7. Now from there, just open 2 brackets. Maybe you can write somewhere down here with a space. Just underneath, open 2 brackets. Right, so both these factors are positive. So the first one, you'll have x plus 1. And then the second one, you'll have x plus 6. Now, the cheat comes here. You will always then divide by the coefficient of your x squared. So you divide the 1 by the coefficient of the x squared. Just show divide by 1 over that coefficient of, so x plus 1, and then divide the 6 by, perfect. Now, you will see that the second bracket, it is easy to simplify it. It becomes x plus 3 on the second bracket. However, on the first bracket, we have a fraction. Now, the cheat that you do here, you just multiply both the x and the half by the denominator of 2. So in this way, if you're scared of grouping, you will not need to group.
Okay, but let's not be scared of grouping, guys, because grouping is what we're going to spend our whole next lesson on, and it's a big part of grade 10.
Definitely.
So we do need to embrace grouping, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I'm ready for questions on the second method. Who has questions about the second method for me? No, it's okay if you're feeling confused, don't panic. Avuzwa, do you have a question on the second method?
Ma'am, for question 2, I mean for the second method, ma'am, is there any cross multiplication involved? Because by the looks of it, ma'am, I'm kind of confused.
Yeah. No, don't worry. A lot of you may feel very confused. So if you're seeing this for the very first time, I can completely understand how terrifying this is. So don't panic. We're going to spend a lot of time on them today. Okay. The only multiplication that happens in this one is when we take the coefficient of the first term and we multiply it by our constant to get that first number. And then we use that number to get our factor tree, which gives us that 7. And we work our way down with grouping after that. But remember, you're allowed to choose whichever method you like with this. So you either can do the crisscross method in number 1, or you can do the grouping method in number 2. Some of your teachers may only teach you one way. And so then obviously you're going to do the way that they teach you in class because you'll do it more often. But you must choose the one that you feel more comfortable with.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Luke, do you have a question?
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I don't understand. Like the crisscross method and like how you got the answer using the crisscross method and yes, ma'am.
Basically, everything's just feeling very confusing right now. Is that how you're feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Are you just feeling like everything
ma'am.
on the screen is just saying, no, I want none of it?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know what's going on.
That is okay.
Yes, ma'am.
If it makes you feel better,
Okay.
that is a very normal response to learning trinomials. So you are in good company. This is a very scary new thing to learn. So don't stress. We're going to do lots of them together. So don't panic. This is just our first one that we're looking at. Okay. Okay. So we are going to look at this first one over here. I'm going to help you with the first step, and then we're going to talk through it. And those of you who are feeling confident, you're welcome to work on it by yourself on your side. And we're just going to kind of slowly chip away at these. Now, in this question, the first thing we have to do, if we can do it, is we always have to take out our highest common factor. And in this question, what would be our highest common factor? What number can go into everything? 3 won't be able to get into 26. 6 also can't go into 26.
2.
2. Okay, so we're going to take out a 2, and we're left with 6a squared plus 13a minus 15. Okay, so if we are working through a question like this, and we were working with the crisscross method, so someone was asking about this just now, what do we do if the coefficient is not a prime number? And it's not a prime number now, it's 6. Okay, so in our crisscross method, what goes over here are our factors of 6. So we can either have 6 and 1, or we can have 2 and 3. Now, if there's only 2 options, I find it easier to just draw 2 crisscrosses. So on this crisscross, I'm going to write 1 and 6. And on this crisscross, I'm going to write 2 and 3. But you can do it on 1 and just erase as you go. You don't need to panic. Okay. Then we need to look, let me get a different color. We need to look at our factor pairs of 15. So we've got 1 and 15 and 3 and 5. Okay. We've got to try and place these so that we get 13. That's what we're trying to get to. So we're trying to get to 13. So let me put these A's in so that we can see that everything's got A's. And now we've got to try and break this up. So let's try and place them in different ways and see what we get. If I put my 1 there and my 15 there, let's see with what we get. 6a times 1 will give me 6a, and 1a times 15 will give me 15a. And I can't get to 13a with 6a and 15a. So I know that way is wrong. Okay, so it can't be that way. So we try a different one. Then we try put our 15 over there and our 1 over there. And here we can see our number is going to be way too big because 6 times 15 is going to be a really big number. So we know that this crisscross is not going to work. So we take that crisscross away. So now let's look at our bottom crisscross. If I put my 1 there, oh, sorry, we didn't try with the 3 and 5. Sorry. Okay, let's put our 3 there and our 5 there. 6a times 5, that's going to give me 30a. 3 times 1a is going to give me 3a. I can't get to 13. Let's try flip it around. Let's put our 5 there and our 3 there. So here we have 6a times 3, which gives me 18a, and 5 times 1a, which gives me 5a. Does that look like those could help us? Do you think we can get 13a from 18a and 5a? Yeah, we can. Okay. Yes, we want to get positive 13a. So which one of those needs to be positive and which one needs to be negative?
The 5 is going to be negative, ma'am.
Good. We want that to be positive and we want that to be negative, which means this one's negative and this one's positive. So our brackets are going to be 6a minus 5 and 1a plus 3.
Oh.
And that is how we figure out our crisscross method with our signs. Okay. If we did the second method with this question, let's walk through it slowly. So again, sorry, we should have a 2 on the outside. We've got, I'm going to keep it at this point, 2, 6a squared plus 13a minus 15. First thing we have to do is we multiply the coefficient of our first term by our constant. So we're going to say 6 times 15. That's our first step. 6 times 15, which gives us 90. Okay. Now we need to work with our factor pairs of 90. So we have 1 and 90, 2 and 45, 3 and 30, 4 doesn't go into 90, 5 and 18. And can we see? Ta-da! That's going to help me get to 13. Okay? So we're going to write it out like that. So we're going to have our 2. And then inside here, we've got 6a squared minus 5a plus 18a minus 15. Okay, we group our first two terms. We take out our a, and I'd be left with 6a minus 5. And in our second terms, I can take out a 3. So I'm going to take out positive 3, and I'm left with 6a minus 5. Now I can take out my common brackets, and I'm left with 2 brackets 6a minus 5a plus 3. Okay, so the reason I find the orange way, well, the left side, the crisscross way, a bit easier is because I feel like the right side gets a little bit overly complicated, especially when you're dealing with big ones. So I always find the crisscross easier, but you must do whichever one you find easier to work with. So on the crisscross method, just to kind of go through this step by step here, crisscross method, we took the coefficient of our first term and we worked with that factor tree to give us those two, because 6a times a will give me 6a squared. And then we worked with our factor tree of our constants. So negative 5 times 3 is going to give me negative 15 to get to our second one. And we multiply in a cross way, which gave me the negative 5a and the 18a, which gives us our 13a. I know that this is going to seem confusing and some will be like, I hate it, I don't want to ever see it again, but I promise they get easier over time. So you must do whichever way you feel more comfortable doing. I see the panicked emojis, don't panic. It just takes time and practice, I promise. Okay. Yeah, I also find the first method way, way easier. I'm a big fan of the crisscross, but I know some of your teachers may teach you the other way, and so I didn't want you to not have seen it and panic if you see it again at some point. But I'm also a big fan of the crisscross. Okay.
Ma'am.
Yeah, hi, Fancy.
Hi, ma'am. I forgot to factorize it in the beginning, so I ended up with 12a plus 10, close brackets, open a new set of brackets, a plus 3.
Yeah, so that's fine, but then your second step, you need to take out the 2 from the first bracket.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, I'm going to skip through example 2 and I'm going to let you try example 3. Now, regardless of sounds of all, I'm trying to figure out which one I want you to start with. I want you to start with this one. Regardless of how stressed you're feeling right now, I want you to try. So I want you to have a piece of paper in front of you. I want you to have your pen or pencil with you. And I want you to either try the first method or I want you to try the second method. Okay. If we're dealing with the crisscross method, just remember that these factors over here will be determined by the coefficient of the first term. And these factors over here will be determined with that 10. Okay, and you multiply in a crisscross way. If you're working with the second method, then your first step is to do your multiplication and work with your factor tree of that new number to get the 11x. Okay, so I want everyone to try this question and I want you to try and sit with it and try and figure it out and play around with it, because the only way we get better at maths is by trying and failing or trying and succeeding. But the most important thing is that you're trying and you're putting in the time. So just do your best. Just give these ones a try. And if you think you've gotten the right answer, remember you can always re-multiply it out to check if you're right or wrong. But if you're feeling confident, let me know and we can talk through it together afterwards. So I'm just going to give you a couple minutes to give this a try by yourselves. Okay, I see we have a question. Sange, how can I help? Oh, you want to try? I'd love it if you could try.
That's perfect, Asange.
Okay, ma'am. So
Which
I'm
method
using
did
the
you use?
crisscross
First method or
method.
second?
Crisscross
Crisscross.
method.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So you're gonna say 2x times 3x.
Okay, so we're going to have 2x over here and 3x over there. Cool.
And 5 times 2.
Okay, so you want my 5. Where do you want my 5?
On
At
the
the top.
5 to be with the, yes.
And the 2 here.
Yes.
Okay, so let's multiply those out. 2x times 2 gives me 4x, and 3x times 5 gives me 15x. So which one of those is going to be positive and which one's going to be negative?
The positive is going to be the 15.
Good, I want
that.
that. Good, so we want that to be positive and we want that to be negative. Beautiful, so what do my brackets look like?
The brackets, ma'am, it's going to be, we're going to open the brackets and say 2x minus 2.
No, you were so right. This is all right so far.
Oh, 2x plus 5, sorry.
There we go.
X minus 2.
Good. That was beautiful. Well done. Okay, excellent, excellent. That was so good. Okay, who was sort of making some headway? I see Emma also got this one right, which is great. Who was making headway or who was struggling? Let me know how this question went, guys. Getting there. Good, good. Okay. Remember, it's all just about practice and trying. Rita? Okay. I'm just going to talk through the second method in case anyone did the second method. Let's go through this one. So if we did the second method, we would say 6 times 10, which gives us 60. And then we need to work with our factor tree of 60. So we've got 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15. And I can see with 4 and 15 that I can get 11. So that's my first step. Second step, we write out 6x squared. We're going to have plus 15 minus 4. So plus 15x minus 4x minus 10. We're going to group our first two and we're going to group our second two. So I'm going to take out a 3 over here and 3x, and I'm going to be left with 2x plus 5. And down here, I'm going to take out a negative 2 and I'm going to be left with 2x plus 5. And my final answer will be 2x plus 5, 3x minus 2. Okay, so if you did the first one crisscross, it'll be exactly how Asange showed you. And if you did the second method, it'll be how I've just done it on the board now. I see I have a question. I'm all yours. How can I help?
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask, how would we be able for the second method, ma'am, how will we be able to identify, like, to not put the plus 15x after the negative 4x?
Oh, so if you said minus 4x and then plus 15.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I think with these ones, it's like you want to try and find numbers that are going to go together. So it's one of the things which it sort of just becomes habit. Eventually you'll figure out which one goes where. But if you had put the 4 before the 15, for example, and you took out the highest common factor of both sets, you would see you didn't get a common bracket. So then it will turn out okay in the end anyway. It's all the same. But like, let me show you so that you don't panic. Okay, so let's say we wrote it as 6x squared minus 4x plus 15x minus 10. Okay, and let's link those guys and those guys. So now what I would take out of 6x squared minus 4 is I'm going to take out 2x, and I'll be left with 3x minus 2. And from those ones, I'm going to take out 5, and I'll be left with 3x minus 2. So I'm going to get to the same point. I just would do it differently. Does that make sense? You get to the same answer, just backwards.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Any other questions about these two? We're just going to practice until we get there. Luke, how can I help? Yeah.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, here is our goal not to get factors of 10 that would equal 11, or the other way around? Or
yeah, so the thing is,
or maybe my question is like completely like out of context, ma'am.
No. What you're saying is great. You're definitely working with those factors of 10, and you are trying to get to 11. But the problem is that we've also got this 6 involved. And because of that 6, that's why we have to do this crisscross multiplication. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get to 11.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the only, but yes, you definitely are working with the factors of 10 to try and get to 11.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, let's try another one. Oh, wait, well, it's already, oh my gosh, how is it already 20 to 7?
Ma'am, I actually still don't understand, ma'am.
Okay, what are you not understanding?
So, ma'am, the 6, like how it changes the sum. Ma'am,
So
I'm feeling getting kicked out of the lesson. Like, I don't but yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, okay. So the way that the 6 works is that we have to break up the same way that we work with our factor pairs of 10. We have to work with our factor pairs of 6 to get those two, right? And then once we have figured out the right combination, so we have to do a bit of trial and error so we can move things around. And then we multiply by the 6 and the 10s together. So 2x times, so what I'm doing is I'm multiplying these two together here. 2x times negative 2 is going to give me negative 4x. And over here, 3x times 5 is going to give me positive 15x. And positive 15x minus 4x is going to give me 11. Okay, so if you're happy with all of that, I'm uncertain where your question is.
Oh, no, ma'am, I didn't understand what that was. But now I do.
Oh, beautiful. I'm glad.
Yes, ma'am.
Rita, don't panic. Mr. Shongwe, I'm sending him your way, Rita. So he's going to send you a message now. Guys, I would like to give your brains a break with the puzzle, but I actually think it would be more beneficial for us to spend more time on these. So we're just gonna carry on working with some factorization today, okay? Just because I think it's a big concept and I want you all to understand. Yeah, it's okay if you're still confused. Vuzwa, how can I help?
Ma'am, I just checked in my math book right now, ma'am. For the previous question, the one that we were currently doing right now, ma'am.
This one.
Ma'am, the 6x squared plus 11x minus 10. Ma'am, I'm a little confused, ma'am, because the thing is, ma'am, I worked out 6x squared and then minus 10, but the only remaining one was the 11x, man. So I'm not sure whether if you can help me.
Okay, so Avuzwa, I'm also going to send Mr. Shongwe your way. So he's going to send you a direct message so that he can try and help you get to the bottom of this, just so that we can start going through another question. Okay, but he'll come and he'll message you now.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Okay, guys, we are going to try this one over here. I'm just going to help you with your first step. And those of you who are still confused, don't panic. We're going to get there. Okay. Remember, it's a big new topic and it's a very scary new topic. And if you haven't done it in class and this is the first time you're seeing it, I can imagine how scary it must be. The first thing we want to say is there a highest common factor? Can I take anything else? And I can't because I've got that 19 in the middle. Okay. So I want you all take your papers out, take your pens and pencils out, and I want you to start figuring out what these two numbers are going to be and what these two numbers are going to be. And remember, trial and error is sometimes our friend. Just give it your best go. I can't believe how quickly our time has disappeared in this lesson. Okay, if you're feeling confused with the signs at the end, that's not a problem. We'll get there. When we talk about this one, I'll talk about it quite slowly. Sebo, how can I help?
Yes, ma'am. The 15, I only get 7.5. Ma'am, is it always a single number?
Okay, no, so the 15, we have to work with factor pairs. So I'm either going to have 1 and 15, or I'm going to have 3 and 5. So I'm either going to have like a 1x here and a 15x here, or I'm going to have a 3x and a 5x. Those are my different options with the 15. Does that make sense, sweetheart?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Does that mean I have to pick the 3 and 5?
Well, you have to do some trial and error to figure out which one it's going to be. So then
yes,
you have
ma'am.
to
Thank you,
work
ma'am.
with your factor pairs of 6. So I've got 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. So you're going to try them here and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, you try them here.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
Ma'am, I think I have the answer.
Great, Canva. I'm just going to give everyone a little bit longer to give it a try. Siam, what can I help? Avuzwa.
Ma'am, for the cross multiplication part, ma'am.
Yeah.
The factors of 19, ma'am. I can't find, like, I can't count them. I can't count them properly because I have one, ma'am, like precisely. I only have one so far, but I can't solve the factors for 19.
So 19 is a prime number. So there's only 1 and 19, but we don't need to use the factors of 19.
So can we use the ones for 6?
Yes, exactly. That's what we do. So for our, you said that beautifully. So the first part here, to get these two numbers, okay, we use our 15. And to find the second set of numbers, we use our 6. Ah, Angel, I'm so glad. Good. Asange, is that a question?
No, ma'am, I think it's an answer. But
Okay, I'm gonna let Canva try this one. Canva, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so first of all, which one should I use? Should I use this first crisscross or the second crisscross?
You should use the second crisscross.
Okay, cool. Tell me what numbers you think should go where.
You put 2 at the top and 3 at the bottom.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a 2 and a 3 here. So now let's multiply. 3x times 3 is going to give me 9x. And 5x times 2 is going to give me 10x. And I'm wanting my answer to be negative 19x. So what does that mean about both of those numbers?
Both numbers will be negative.
Good. And if both of those are negative, both of those are negative. So what are my two brackets going to be?
It's going to be 3x minus 2, close bracket, open another bracket, 5x minus 3.
Beautiful. Good. Good. Yes,
I think
guys.
people are starting to get it. This
Yes.
is good. This is good.
Remember, guys, this is a hard concept. It takes time. It takes time. The crisscross method, if I could like promote it on big banners, I would. But if you've learned the other way and you feel comfortable with the other way, then I don't want to dissuade you. You must do whichever one you feel comfortable with. Sarah, well done. Yes, guys. Oh, I'm so excited.
Asange, hey, the hand is up.
Oh, no, sorry. That was a mistake.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, good, Rita. I'm so glad. Oh, guys, this is making my heart feel much, much happier. You know what? Being really close is better than being super far away. So think of it that way. Okay, can I move down? Let's try another one. Good. This one's actually a little bit too easy. This one's also a little bit easy. I wonder where there's a nice, tough one. Okay, I'm going to do this one. I'm just going to change it a little bit to make it a little bit nicer while we're still learning. So let's just do it like this.
Yeah.
Just going to get rid of those Y's for you just while we're learning. Okay. All right. Yes, for this one, I'll show you both methods. Okay. So give this one a try for me. Just do the best you can. I will show you both methods with this question. This is probably going to be our last one for the evening because our time just disappeared tonight.
I think that's the answer.
Excellent. Well done. Okay, I'm just going to give everyone a little bit longer to give it a try. But I'm so glad.
I got it, ma'am.
Excellent.
Speed.
Got it, ma'am.
Guys.
Oh, people are on fire now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Asange, I'm all yours. Tell me what to do.
Okay, ma'am. So you use the crisscross method.
Good. Okay. Beautiful. Next.
Then you write 2x and 2x.
Okay.
Then write 3 and 3.
The 3 and?
3 and 3.
3 and 3. Sorry.
Awesome.
Okay,
Ooh.
cool. Okay, now if I multiply these together, 2x times 3 is going to give me 6x, and over here, 2x times 3 is going to give me 6x. So what signs did both of those need to be?
They both need to be negative.
Beautiful, they both need to be negative, which means these both need to be negative. And so what are my brackets going to be?
It's going to be 2x minus 3.
Yes.
2x minus 3.
Beautiful. Okay, and if you wanted to take it one step further to make it look super fancy, we could say 2x minus 3 squared, because you know how in maths we like to be fancy. Excellent, guys. Okay, and then if you wanted to do it the second method, oh, sorry, I see you have a question. How can I help?
Idumetsi?
Ma'am, I see that with this one, the sum that you gave us, the 9 was a positive, and they were both negatives.
Yes. So remember, if this is a positive, the signs just have to be the same as each
The
other.
same.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I understand that part. So, yeah, if let's say the 6 on top was a positive and the one at the bottom was a negative, would we have to change the signs?
Yeah. So if you landed up seeing, so let's say you were able to get to -12, but you did it through like -18x plus 6x, for example, right? Because those signs are different, I would know that that's wrong. So I'd have to try different numbers. I'd have to try and move it around.
Okay, ma'am. So you change it to get the middle term.
Exactly. Because it's a positive sign, I know those signs have to be the same. And so if my signs are different, then I've done something wrong somewhere along the way.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Okay, if we have a look at the second method, we're going to say 4 times 9. So 4 times 9 gives us 36. And we're going to work with our factors of 36. So 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9. Do we have a, what am I missing? 6 and 6. There we go. Okay. Okay, and 6 and 6 is going to be able to get us to that -12. So we're going to write that as 4x squared minus 6x plus 9. We're going to group our first 2 and group our second 2. So when I group my first 2, I'm going to take out 2x, and I'm left with 2x minus 3. Group my second 2, I'm going to take out -3, and I'm left with 2x minus 3. And so my final answer will be 2x minus 3. 2x minus 3. Okay. So you must do whichever way you feel comfortable with. Is the way that I want you to do it with. If you understand crisscross better, you do crisscross. If you understand the way I've just done on the right, you do the way on the right. If there's a plus in front and a minus at the back, will the whole thing be... If there's a plus in the front and a minus in the back. Okay, if there's a plus in the front and a minus in the back, then it means that because of that minus, my signs are going to be different. That's the only thing that minus is telling me. Okay, guys, we are going to, okay, well, when we start our lesson on Thursday, the very first thing that we'll do when we do those try now questions, they will be 2 questions like this. So we'll do some more practice with them on Thursday. I hope that those of you who have been doing these in class are feeling more confident with them now and feeling good and ready to get back into the classroom and try them. And for those of you who have just learned it today, I'm hoping that you feel a little bit less scared than you did at the beginning of the lesson. I hope.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Are we able to rewatch this lesson, the recording?
Absolutely. It will be on the website, so www.watobe.co.za.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
Ma'am?
And this will be lesson 5 of grade 10 algebra. Yeah.
Ma'am? Are we going to start with adding and minusing of fractions, ma'am? That's what we're doing in class, ma'am, and it's getting very difficult.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing that for a while. We first need to do grouping and difference in sum of cubes. So we're going to jump onto those next.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions? We all good?
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, for the -12x, ma'am, I was a little confused at first, ma'am. Why? Because the first bracket that I had, ma'am, was first 2x plus 3. But then I went back and changed it because the thing is, I took my rule where a negative and a positive and a negative gives me a negative, So I had to go back and rechange the answer, because
okay.
I thought it was a positive,
Yeah, so just be careful. Our rules of multiplication, so the rules of if we have a negative number multiplied by a positive number becoming a negative, that's completely different to what we're doing with these ones. So this one's just, we're not doing any kind of multiplication with that just yet. This is just telling me that if it's positive, then both of my signs will be the same, and they will be the same as that sign. And if it's negative, then my signs will be different, and we figure out which one they'll be dependent on what those numbers land up being.
So which means when
yeah.
we look at sorry about that. Do we look at the middle term, ma'am? Is it the one that determines our final our final sum, like whether if it's a negative or a positive?
Yes, the middle term is exactly what determines that. So we need to get negative 12. And so when we multiply this 2x and the 3, it has to be a negative 3 because we have to get negative 6. And then we have to get another negative 6 because we need to get negative 12.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes, okay, to those of you who this was your first lesson, I hope that you had a good lesson and you learned lots, and that I will see you again on Thursday. And for all of our normal customers, it's always lovely seeing and hearing from you.
Bye, ma'am.
Have a lovely evening.
Ma'am, you're so.
Bye, everyone. Make sure you sign up. Don't forget to sign
Bye,
up.
ma'am.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Bye,
Yes.
ma'am.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank
See
you
you on
very much, ma'am.
Thursday.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.